Welcome back to my channel. I am Dr. Q Perry, a board certified and Christian psychologist in Dallas, Texas. As you can tell by the title of this video, today we're going to be talking about Christians and membership in Greek organizations. Now, before we get into this, I do have to say that I am not a member of a Greek organization, but I have had my personal experiences with these organizations as well as professional experience. So it has been really interesting for me to see all the strong opinions on both ends of the spectrum. So you have some people who say there is absolutely no reason that a Christian should be a member of a Greek organization because it is idolatrous. And then you have some people that say it is okay as long as you keep the organization in its proper place in your heart. And then you might actually have some people who say, listen, Christianity and Greek membership are two totally separate things. And basically they just kind of feel like it ain't that deep. Now, the purpose of this video is not for me to tell you what to do or to condemn you to hell if you don't. But I want to give you some things for you to think about and offer you a resource that'll help you to gain clarity to be able to answer that question for yourself. Now, there has been a lot of public conversation about it, but what I do know through my experiences, both personally and professionally, is that at the end of the day, this is a very personal and serious matter. What do I mean by that? I mean that your decision to join an organization or to stay in an organization or to renounce your membership is very personal. There's some things that only are going to be between you and God. And the way that God speaks to you may be very different than how he speaks to somebody else. What he tells me to do may be very different than what he is telling you to do. And you also have to consider the call that you have on your life, because that also sets the stage for the things that God permits you to do. And that also sets the stage for the things that he prohibits you from doing. And in my experience, I would say that people tend to fall in one of two categories. And the first category I would say is what I call the pre-membership. So these are people who might be interested, they're curious, they're doing their research, or they may actually have decided which organization they want to join, but they have not taken any formal steps to do so. That pre-membership category also includes people who might have done an underground process, but for whatever reason, they did not actually become a member. So maybe the line dropped, maybe the chapter got in trouble and they were on probation. Something happened basically where they just didn't become a formal member of the organization. That pre-membership category also includes people who may have actually applied for membership, but for whatever reason, they were denied membership. So there's that pre-membership category. Then you have people who fall in the membership category, which, is pretty self-explanatory. These are people who are actually members of a Greek organization. Now, if you're watching this video, I imagine you fall in one of those two categories, or you might actually be a parent, you might be a counselor, you might be a pastor or a coach trying to get some information to be able to help somebody that you know and love be able to make that decision for themselves. What I do want to ask you to think about is when you think about Greek membership in whichever category you're in, I want you to ask yourself, how am I feeling? You might be feeling confused. You might be feeling overwhelmed with all the information. You might be feeling doubtful. You might be feeling angry even. And whatever your emotions are, I want you to allow yourself to feel those emotions without judgment. So give yourself some self-compassion, because this is a very big and life-changing decision in whichever direction you decide to go in. So give yourself some compassion. Now, the resource that I want to offer you is a guided workbook that God gave me the idea to create. This workbook is something that will give you some reflection questions to be able to help you to navigate all of the different areas. And when I say different areas, I've come to realize that Greek membership is not just about service. It's not just about sisterhood or brotherhood. There are a lot of different areas of your life that are affected by this decision. And so because of that, I have broken down the workbook into various categories. And so let me look down in my notes and give you some information. In this workbook, I have over 100 reflection questions. And so you might be thinking, that's a lot of questions. Yes. The reason why I think you'll benefit from this workbook is because God has particularly gifted me to be able to ask people powerful questions to prepare them for their purpose, to propel them into the next dimension of their destiny. And so here's the different categories. You have some general questions that you should answer. I have categories on childhood and family, pre-membership, membership, emotions, self-esteem and values, spirituality, and relationships. A lot of questions, because by the time you work through all of the questions in the workbook, I am pretty sure that you're going to have a lot more clarity than you had when you first started the workbook. So let me give you some examples if you're curious about like what kinds of questions are in there. One of the questions says, how have you changed since you have been in pursuit of Greek membership? The other question says, imagine the best version of yourself. Which decision would the best version of yourself choose as it relates to Greek membership? And another example question says, what is your biggest fear about joining or renouncing membership in a Greek organization? Now, you can take those questions right there and get probably a lot of clarity, but imagine having over 100 questions to be able to answer for yourself. Take some time and answer the sample questions. You might get a lot out of those sample questions. Pray through your answers and really see what comes up for you. And if you decide that you really want to go deeper and answer a lot more questions and look at all of the different categories that I have listed out for you, click the link in the description box and purchase your copy of the workbook. It's digital, so it's nothing physical that will be sent to you, so you'll be able to get that immediately. And if you are a coach, if you're a therapist, if you are a pastor and you would like to use this resource beyond personal use and you want to use it to work with other people, then please purchase a commercial license in my shop, and that link is also in the description. Until next time, take care.